Okay, so when you guys are thinking about the instruments and how you're going to collect your data, the two things to perhaps think about is validity and reliability. All right, so when you are developing your method section, we're going to ask you to include in there how do you know that your instrument is valid and how do you know that it's reliable. So, a valid instrument is an instrument that measures what it is set out to measure. Now, some of you are going to say, well, I want to create my own survey. That's very difficult because sometimes you don't always know if what you're actually measuring is what is you're intending to measure. All right. And so on the web page, I talk a little bit about the different types of validity. Content validity, think about it. Is it measuring the content that is that you have? For example, an easy example is an educational example. All right. So if I'm teaching stats and I say, oh, by the way, I've got a quiz for you and it's going to be on physics, well, that's not valid because I'm measuring something I'm not teaching you. All right. So there was also your criterion validity, you're measuring something and you are comparing it against a criteria that is objectively measured. And I gave you an example of motivation or attitude, or I can't remember which one it was on there. And then you had concurrent validity measured at the same time. So usually you see this when you have a long instrument version and a short instrument version, and you're seeing if the short instrument version has validity. All right, and so you have the participants take both the long and both the short, and you take them at the same time. All right, or within like a day time span or whatever it is. Um, you don't want to wait too long because other factors can influence that person's choices on that survey. And then you have predictive validity where you say, okay, take the survey and then 10 years from now, I'm going to see if my survey accurately predicts whether you're going to have heart disease, for instance, based on your survey responses. Okay, and then reliability is, does it get the same results over and over again? And so you're not necessarily going to get the exact same results, but we'll talk a little bit about reliability. But if I did a correlation and I looked at your responses today and then I measured you again on Wednesday, do I get the same or similar results? Test, retest reliability is basically that. All right, can I get the same? I'm testing you once and I'm retesting you, and do I get the same values? So reliability and validity are very important. So when you guys start thinking about your instruments, make sure you get instruments that are both valid and reliable. This will be a big issue when it comes to trying to publish.